Welcome to a 50-minute Vinyasa style yoga flow practice. My name is Kailey. When you are ready, you can meet me on your mat in any starting posture that feels like a good place to check in with yourself from. For me today, I'm going to start seated. It might feel better for you to start in a child's pose or on your back with Shavasana being centered right out the gate. Just take a few minutes, shift around if you need in the body. I love to not feel like I'm playing freeze tag when I come to a mindfulness practice. Let the eyes soften or maybe even close. You don't feel like you have to commit to a rigid position, so you can adjust at any time. But start to suss out the difference between an adjustment and a fidget. If you are fidgeting, the very first thing to do is to not judge that. Notice where you can feel your breath in your body. Notice if you can feel the breath in the body. And then notice the sensations associated with your breathing. And that could even be if you happen to be holding the breath. There could be some tension or some stiffness associated with that without forcing anything. So you can start to move towards something that feels more like a gentle wave through the body. Practice just a couple of rounds of a 3-part breath rhythm here. Wherever you landed is great. If it would help you to have a little tactile feedback, you can bring your hands somewhere around the chest or the belly, or I like to wrap my fingers around the rib cage. So I can feel the ribs moving a little bit here. All through the spine, whether you're seated or lying down. Take a breath in and let the belly expand. Let the breath move up into the chest, and then finally let the breath lift the collarbones and the shoulders naturally. As you exhale, let the shoulders relax, let the chest recoil, and let the belly soften. Like a wave, inhale into the belly, chest, collarbones and shoulders. Exhale from the top down, shoulders relax, rib cage, belly. A couple more rounds like that on your own. Bring your awareness to places in the body that feel tight. Inhale into those places, through those places. Exhale, maybe you notice a little bit of ungripping the jaw, the shoulders, pelvis. Take one more deep, clear inhale through the nose, holding the breath for a moment at the top, letting it swirl around your body. Exhale, let it go. Eyes are closed, gently blink them open. Meet me on your hands and your knees. So come to a tabletop position here. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and circle your shoulders over your wrists. Just check in with the hands. Try and stay long in the lower back. So really bringing as much awareness into the body as possible. The goal of this practice is to just be present to whatever is arising. And all of us, myself included, are going to drift in and out of that presence. Go ahead and switch directions throughout the practice, throughout the day. Maybe set the intention that you'll have at least a few cycles of breath intermittently here, where you are gently striving to be fully present to sensation, maybe even aware of thoughts as they come and go. Come through neutral here. Keep the head still, so the crown of the head is reaching forward. We're just going to move through the shoulders here. Arms stay straight. Drop the chest through the upper arms toward your thumb. So the shoulders are going to retract toward the spine here. Then as you push the hands down, the rest of the body stays relatively still. Let the shoulders round away from the spine, kind of all the way toward the underarm and the side of the ribs. So there's scapular push-ups here. Really important to get neural motor pathways going on between shoulders, those muscles of the shoulders and the mind. If you want, you can add an inhale on the way down and an exhale on the way up, or vice versa. They both have their own benefits. Right, we're going to keep the shoulders and the upper body still. Tip the tailbone toward the ceiling. So just the pelvis is moving, maybe the belly and the lower back as well. And then tuck the tailbone toward your knees. Feel the abdominals, the belly button pull up and in. It's pretty intense abdominal exercise actually. And then just alternate between those two. Pelvic tilts here. Really great if you have some hip flexor kind of imbalances. If your low back tends to be sore a lot of the time. Resetting the pelvis here. Right, come back through neutral. Bring the knees a little closer together. Tuck the toes under and then walk the hips back onto the heels. We're going to find toes pose. Stretching out through the backs of the feet. You might even tuck the pinky toe under. And then if it feels okay to shift back with the shoulders all the way over the hips, there's a lot of pressure on the soles of the feet there. But if that feels okay in the body, go for it. Otherwise, you can keep the fingertips in front of you or even farther in front of you. So just experimenting with how much weight to put on those heels and affect the level of muscular strain that you're asking the soles of the feet to do. 2 deep breaths here. Maybe again, wrapping the fingers around the rib cage if you like. That helps you feel that tactile sensation. Flip flops or Sasha coming to monitor my progress today. The animals are great at being present. All right, walk back to the hands and the knees, but keep the toes tucked under. Bring the knees a little farther apart here. So knees, hips distance, feet hips distance. And then tailbone toward the ceiling, chest toward the thumbs. Maybe the chin lifts up, coming all the way into your cow stretch. Energetically glide the hands back toward the knees. So they won't actually move, but as you pull back through the hands, you probably feel the shoulders melt down onto the back of the ribs and the collarbones open up a little bit. Tuck the tailbone toward the knees. Exhale, round your spine. Energetically glide the hands toward the top of the mat. Chin taps toward the chest. Come into a neutral spine here. Take a breath in. Press straight down through the hands. And then hover the knees just an inch above the mat. Drop the knees down. Cow pose. Inhale. Cat pose. Exhale. Here's our little mini flow. Neutral spine, take a breath in, press the palms straight down. Exhale, hover the knees, hold the exhale, engage through the abdominals, feel the navel knit up and back toward the spine. Drop the knees, inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Last one together, neutral spine, breathe in, palms push straight down, exhale, hover the knees and hold for 3, 2, 1, knees down, breathe in, cow. Continue through this mini little flow. Notice how present you can be to your spine. Notice how present you can be between the hands and the texture of your mat. Maybe even get lost a little bit in the breath. Actually, I think mindfulness and mind wandering can be equally valuable. So if the mind is busy, let that be okay too. Start to make a little noise with the exhales, constricting the back of the throat if you haven't. 2 more rounds. The hands are getting fatigued. That is okay. You can stop before I do. Otherwise, play around with gripping into the finger pads. So it's not really the wrists doing the work, but pull up into the forearms. And then meet me back on your heels, untucking the toes this time. So have a seat on the heels. Let the hands come open on top of the thighs here. The eyes soften or close down. Just notice the sensation in the palms, the tips of the fingers. A little different here. Blink the eyes open if they were closed. Come to standing on the knees. Inhale your arms into a goalpost or a cactus shape. So sometimes the W actually feels a little like a W shape, feels a little bit better on the shoulder blades. Feel free to explore how high or low the shoulders feel best here. You're looking for a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Nothing crazy, but a little squeeze. Exhale, bring the fingertips down, just about a foot in front of the knees, hips to heels, chin to chest. So kind of a cat back here. Inhale, lift up onto the knees, cactus or W shape through the arms. Maybe the chin comes up, but lengthen the rib cage away from the pelvis. And then exhale for your little cat variation, tenting the fingers. Take a couple more like this. See if you can explore moving smooth and controlled instead of fast, or instead of prioritizing the biggest range of motion possible. Great, walk the hands back to your hands and your knees, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Paddle it out a little bit here, find the stretch in the back of the legs. Lift one heel and then the other. And then feet stay at the back of the mat. Go ahead and walk your hands back toward your feet. Finding a forward fold, separating the feet so they're hips distance apart if they weren't already. Catch the crooks of the opposite elbows here for a moment and take a nice generous bend in the knees so that you can rest your chest on the thighs or maybe between the thighs. So maybe separating the feet wider. Giving your belly and your rib cage some space. Give the head a gentle shake or give the chin a little nod. And then release the fingertips straight down. Keep the left fingers tented, bend the left knee a bunch, and then inhale the right elbow back. Check in with the shoulder there. Exhale the right hand down, bend the right knee, inhale the left elbow back. Check in with the shoulder. Exhale it down. This time the right arm comes up. Maybe it stretches all the way up. Exhale down. Left side, inhale. Down on the exhale. 2 more times in each direction here. Find length in the spine. So as you lift one arm or one elbow, the crown of the head stretches away from the tailbone. Last time to the right. Once more to the left. And then walk it out into a plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists again. Push straight down through the hands here. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. And then step the ball of the foot back. Keep the hips in line with the shoulders. Left knee, left elbow. Step it back, side to side, 2 more times on each side. How aligned can you keep the back here? So make sure you're not dumping into the low back. Look forward. Lift the hips and then walk your feet to the top of the mat. Come straight into the halfway stretch. Palms right underneath the knees. Reach the crown of the head forward. Shoulders come together on the back. Catch your calves as you exhale. Tuck the chin toward the chest. Vertebra by vertebra. Grab hold of the hips and then roll up slow. Grip the mat with the feet. Once you're upright, stretch the arms overhead. Find length through the side body on the inhale. And then bring the hands to your heart. Let the eyes soften to the fingertips or even close all the way down. Decide right now that this practice is going to be about taking care of your mind and your body and your spirit. And that you know the best way to do that. So you choose variations that are going to serve you today. Breathe in a way that helps you feel connected so that you do know how to best meet your own needs here. Blink the eyes open, reach the arms up on an in-breath. Surya Namaskar A. We'll do a couple together and then flow through it. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Palms right under the knees. Inhale, come up halfway, then lots of length in the spine. Plant the hands, step back to high push-up, rock forward. First time, let's lower all the way down and activate some of the paraspinal extensor muscles. Walk the fingertips out off of your mat, away from you a little bit. Come onto the tops of the feet, and then as you inhale, just the fingertips are pressing down. Squeeze the shoulders toward each other on your back. Exhale, lower the forehead to the mat. Relax the muscles alongside the spine. Inhale, come back up. This time, look over your right shoulder. As you exhale, bring the right shoulder down to the center of your mat. Look toward your left elbow. Maybe the right side of the head comes all the way down. Come back to the center, breathe in. Find that rotation, go to the right this time. Look towards your right elbow. Come back to the center on the inhale. This time, bring the arms back by your side like airplane wings, and think about lifting straight up instead of taking the head back. Imagine the spine lifting away from the floor. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Hold here for 5, 4, 3. Deep breath in. 2. Exhale it down on 1. Bring your hands underneath your forehead. Make a little pillow for your forehead. And then wiggle out through the hips. Separate the feet to about max distance back behind you. Give those muscle fibers a second to fully release and come back to a resting leg. All right, regular Cobra pose here. Inhale, the palms come toward the side body. Try and use the back more than the hands as you lift up. So this is a back strengthening exercise. Down dog this time as you exhale, press the hips up and back. Take a full cycle of breath here. Take stock of how the body's feeling. Take stock of any emotions that might be arising. Look forward toward the top of the mat and then walk your feet up between your hands. Moving with breath here, halfway lift, inhale, palms under the knees. Forward fold, exhale. Take it all the way up, big full body stretch on the in-breath. Come right back down as you exhale, big hip hinge, soft through the knees. Palms under knees, inhale to half lift. Exhale, high plank to low plank. You could lower half or all the way down. Try not to cave into the low back. Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale, engage the muscles alongside the spine. Downward facing dog, exhale. Look towards your knees or your navel, take a breath in. Breath out. We'll get to the top together and then on our own for about a minute, look forward, lift the heels. Empty the breath and then step lightly to the top. Keep moving through this flow. You can take things in, you can add things in or take things out. But the goal here is to just be present. So even if you feel like you're getting the flow confused, so you can walk back any self-judgment that might be coming up. There is truly not a wrong way to do this. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. We're just going to continue like this for about 40 more seconds. Give yourself an opportunity to notice different sensations. Notice the sensation of the breath. One more round. And when you finish up that last round, you can meet me in down dog or in child's pose. Notice if there's a hierarchy in your mind. See if you can do what feels most aligned for you today. Right? What do you need from your practice? Do you need a really kind of intense muscle burner practice. You need something that's a little softer. So take a big full breath in. Open mouth exhale, soften the jaw, let it go. Meet me in a downward facing dog, spread out the fingers pretty wide. Lift the right leg back behind you. Circle through the right ankle, bend the right knee, stack the right hip on top of the left. Draw some circles with your right knee here. So mobilizing through that space between the top of the right thigh and the right hip socket. Switch the direction of those circles. Keep pressing the chest toward the left leg. Push into the right hand just as much as the left. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Shift forward so the shoulders are over the wrist, palms push straight down. Inhale, kick back. 2 more times. Right knee, right elbow on the exhale. Use your core. Inhale, 1 more. Exhale, pull and squeeze and press. Inhale, kick back. This time, step the right foot forward. Spin the right heel down, about 45-degree angle, and then root down through the right foot. To the right, I said right heel, I meant left back there. Oh my goodness. Come up into warrior 1, pressing into that front foot to rise. Really rooting down between the big toe mound of the right foot and the mat. Keep pressing to the knife edge of your left foot. Lengthen through the spine. Use your wrists to lift up away from the underarms. Lift the underarms away from the hips. How much space can you find there? Breathe in. Tip the body forward. Sweep the hands back. Coming into a lightning warrior. Continue to grip the mat with your left toes, the back foot, and the knife edge of the left foot. I'm going to do my best to get right and left right today. We'll see. Root down, keep rooting down. We're going to cartwheel the arms open to reverse warrior. Keep anchoring into that front leg. Adjust your feet as needed. So there's no super glue. There's no rigid commitment to your foundation. Set it up so you really can press down and pull the energy up the legs. Keep anchoring into the right leg. Lift the right arm up and then draw it back. Bend the right elbow. Reach up with the left hand. Draw the right elbow up. Breathe in. Stay anchored into the right leg. Exhale, take a little side bend, not forcing anything. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, elbow lifts. Exhale, find that side bend. Keep the side bend. Let the left hand gently touch the left leg. Inhale, the right arm up. Cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. Step back and take it through your vinyasa. You could always skip the vinyasa and go to a down dog. Regroup, reset there. That's where we meet up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Left side, inhale the left leg. Circle the left ankle. Bend the left knee. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Notice how the weight tends to want to shift into the right hand. See if you can press as much with the left hand. And then circle through your left knee. Eyes are back toward your right knee or your right toes. Switch the direction of those circles. Try and make that circle as smooth as you can, even if that means making a small circle. Small circles are good. Kick the leg back. Breathe in. Step forward. Warrior 1. Press into the big toe mound of the left foot as you rise. And then press to the knife edge of your right foot to sink into your lunge. So one common misconception, something that I have to unlearn myself, is this idea that the bigger the range of motion, the better and the more effective. This is not necessarily true at all. We always want to work through a range of motion that we feel like we have control within, right? That the body feels stable within. So mobility is going to be way more useful for our longevity, for our quality of life, than just flexibility without any qualifications. So think mobility instead of range of motion here. Breathing in, lightening arms as you hinge forward. Feel the navel center pull up and in. Feel that connection between the left foot and the mat. Maybe lift the toes on the left foot. Feel that left big toe mound press down really firm, like you're trying to make your footprint on the mat. Reverse cartwheel it open into reverse warrior. Inhale, right fingers soft on the back leg. Bend the left elbow, reach up with the right hand, catch the left elbow. Stay anchored into your lunge. Inhale, the elbow lifts. Maybe even use the right hand to lift that elbow gently. Exhale, create your side bend. Use the breath like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, find the side bend. One more. No rush. Release the hands. Inhale into your reverse warrior. Cartwheel the hands, step back, and then flow through your vinyasa. Again, we'll meet up in downward facing dog. Take a recovery, reset breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth, like golden and gripping in the jaw. Move toward the top of the mat with the heels. Empty your breath, step or hop the feet to the hands. Halfway stretch, breathing in. Forward fold, exhale. All the way up on the in-breath, stretch, stretch, stretch. Lightning chair, hinge the hips, bend the knees, sweep the arms back. The spine comes at an angle, at a diagonal, roughly parallel, my goodness, today, with the shins. So if you can imagine and feel where your shins are in space, see if you can bring the spine into that same alignment. You might feel the quads light up a little bit more as you do that. Option to lift up onto the heels. Take a breath in. Stay here for the breath out. Sweep the arms forward. Maybe stay on the balls of the feet if you want to explore that balance challenge. Keep the knees as still as possible. So if the knees start to collapse inward, keep the heels down. Inhale the arms back. Exhale the arms forward. Actually, let's exhale the arms back and inhale them forward, unless you like the other variation. Swing the arms nice and smooth by your side. I lost the balance there. For 3. For 2. Meet me in your lightning chair on 1. Lightning chair on 1. Again, option to lift the heels if you want. Heels down, stand all the way up, reach the arms overhead, breathe in. Forward fold, long breath out. Halfway stretch, take an inhale. Step or float back to low push-up through your vinyasa. We're gonna flow through that one breath, one motion, and then kind of set it free for another minute or two. Inhale, right leg starts us off. Exhale, right knee, right elbow 3 times. Work with your breath here. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, shift forward, palms push straight down. One more. Back to 3-legged dog on the inhale, finish that breath. Step the right foot forward on the exhale. Warrior 1, breathe in, reach all the way up through the fingertips. Lightning warrior as you breathe out. Rooting down through the base of the right big toe. Reverse warrior, inhale, anchor into the front leg. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. Exhale to low push up. However you want to get back to downward facing dog. So we're building a little heat here, right? Left leg up, inhale. Left elbow, exhale. Maybe it's just my house. Inhale back to 3-legged. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more like that. Back to 3-legged dog. Lengthen, and then step the left foot forward, anchor. Warrior 1, inhale. Lightning, exhale. Reverse it wide open, breathe in. Cartwheel it down, step back and flow through your vinyasa, and then continue on your own here. So move through that flow, side to side, breath and motion. You can take things out or add things in. How present can you be? You find ways to use the breath to anchor into sources of strength, whether they're physical, mental, spiritual, and to ungrip in the places where that tension just doesn't serve. We'll move like this for just about 90 seconds. Let the sensation flow. Whatever you feel from breath to breath, know that it will change. Our best chance to move skillfully comes from being present. And that's true for physical movement, as well as just about every other kind. If it is a day where you really do need to explore a little bit, add something in. If your body's craving a certain shape, add it in, even if it doesn't exactly fit the flow. It doesn't have to be like a choreographed dance here. Our bodies have their own innate wisdom. Just about 20 more seconds. You'll be finishing up the round that you're on. And then meeting in either chair pose or standing at the top of your mat. If you get there early, that is A-okay. You might play around with standing and then sitting into chair. Working with the established flow of your breath. So still finding that gentle constriction in the back of the throat. Set the eyes softly to one point. Notice if your eyes are fixed in a way that there's a bunch of tension showing up in the brow. See if you can soften your gaze like you're looking at something or someone that you really like or love. Doesn't really matter what the thing or the creature happens to be, but notice the impact on your nervous system. Notice your nervous system's impact on your body. Take a breath in as you find chair if you're not already there. Lightning chair on the exhale. Stand all the way up as you breathe in. Take an open arm chair twist to the right as you breathe out. Rotate from the belly button up. Stand up on the inhale, reach, reach, reach. Open arm chair to the left as you exhale. Inhale, stand. Again, exhale to the right. You choose how deep to bend the knees. Continue moving side to side here. Exploring the trunk rotation. Exploring where you can bring some stabilization from the connection between your feet and the mat. From the alignment of the knees. If you feel pretty good, the joints are pretty warm and juiced up, you can start to move in a way that feels a little bit looser. Maybe soften through the wrists, soften through the fingers. We're here for 5. Meet me in mountain on 1, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand all the way up and then drop the hands by the sides. Let the eyes close, palms face forward. Drop the tailbone just a little bit so you have some length in the low back. And then keep the chin level. So keep the chin parallel with the floor, but lift your chest, lift that sternum up a little bit. Just notice the sensations in the body. Notice the sensation of your breath. Blink the eyes open. Root down through your right foot. Inhale the arms up. Then as you exhale, bring the left knee into the chest and the hands to the heart. Kick the left leg out in front of you without rounding forward and without leaning back. So nice long neutral spine here. The left leg kicks out in front of you. Flex the left foot, spread the left toes, and then little pulses up. Just the left leg is moving. The abdominals are pulling in and back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted. We're going to take it into standing splits. So sweep that left leg back behind you. The fingertips could tent under the shoulders, or maybe you have something, ideally not a glass coffee table, but maybe you have something that you can bring the hands to for some support here. Keep the left foot flexed, circle through the left ankle, and then switch the direction of those circles in the left ankle. Point the left foot up, take another inhale here. As you exhale, bring your left knee to your right calf. Maybe it touches, doesn't really matter, but shift the right knee back so it's closer to over the right ankle than over the right toes. We're going to step back to crescent lunge. Drop the ball of the left foot to the back of the mat, root into the right foot. Inhale, the arms come up. As you exhale, find warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Take a breath in. So we've seen this one before. We're going to find a side lunge or skandasana at the back of the mat. So a side lunge, the toes would both point toward the long left side of your yoga mat. You might bring the hands down. The spine is long here. So if you take a side lunge, turn to the side here, the spine is long. If you come into skandasana, spine is also long. Feel free to use your hands for a little bit of support for the balance, or maybe you bring the hands into a mudra, a seal. You soften around the jaw. So common to hold tension there. You find a way to focus and be skillful without creating unnecessary tension. From wherever you are, whether you're in that side lunge or skandasana, walk the hands to the top, bend the front knee, extended side angle, right elbow to the right thigh. Left arm grows long, lengthen out through the whole left side body. Keep pressing down through the feet. Let the left shoulder lift toward the left ear instead of trying to keep it on the back. Let it lift. Feel the left underarm open, and then backstroke that left arm a couple times. Backstroke the left arm one more time. Spin the left heel up as you inhale the arms up, back into crescent lunge. Airplane on your exhale, root down, oof, into the right foot. We're only doing this little sequence once. Keep plugging into that right foot, soften the right knee, and then bring the left foot to meet the right as you stand all the way up at the top. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Bring the hands to the heart as you breathe out. Root down into the left foot, right knee comes into the chest this time. Flex the right foot. And then extend the right leg straight forward. Straight forward is probably a little bit of a not helpful cue here. That right leg might be quite low. Ideally, you're going to feel this in your core instead of the hip flexor. So pulse up. Maybe you'll feel it in other places too. Up, up, the glutes, the quads. Imagine the right knee lifting toward the right hip crease. For 3, 2, keep it lifted in 1. Take it back into standing split. Sweep that leg back, hinging forward. Fingertips come down for some support. And then circle the right ankle. Spread the right toes. Switch the direction of those circles. So important to move through the feet and the ankles. Shiva squat or yoga curtsy, bringing the right knee to the left calf. Again, slide the left knee back just a bit so that it's more over the left ankle than over the left toe. So it's going to help that left knee. When you're ready, set the ball of the right foot back. Crescent lunge, root into your foundation and inhale the arms. Warrior 2, home stretch here. Reverse warrior, take a deep breath in. And then your side lunge or skandasana to the long right edge of your mat. Another breath in. Extended side angle. Take your time to get there. Move skillfully. Right arm reaches, anchor down to the knife edge of your right foot. Let the right shoulder lift toward the right ear. So give those upper trap muscles a little break, and then backstroke the right arm. 4 or 5 times, feel free to bend the right elbow. So sometimes reducing the length of that lever is going to feel better in the right shoulder. Again, the bigger range of motion is not always better. Backstroke once more. Lift the right heel, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Inhale the arms up, find your balance here, and then fly it forward into airplane. Deep breath in. Step the right foot next to the left as you breathe out. Circle the arms up one last time like that on the inhale. Bring the hands to the heart and then separate your feet to max distance apart. Toes turn out just a little bit. Let the hips drop down. Maybe bring your fingertips down, taking it into a yogi squat or a goddess pose here. And keep the hands down if that feels supportive. You can step the feet wider if you need a little bit more space. And if this does not work in your body, go ahead and sit down onto your butt or lie down onto your back. We'll all meet there in a moment. If you're in your goddess pose with me here, reach the hands forward just a little bit. See if you can drop your bum down gently. And then we're going to try and bind the big toes with the beast fingers, coming into something like happy baby, but lift, lift, lift. Straighten the legs out as you find Navasana kind of pose. If you're on your back or you took a seat, you might meet us here, pulling the chest toward the toes. Keep the legs lifted if you can, one hand at a time. Bring the forearm down by your side. So you're in a supported boat, little bit of support here. Pull the navel center down and in. Imagine the hip points moving in toward midline here, and then lower the right heel. Lower the left heel. Oof. Lift the right knee into the chest. Straighten it out at an angle. Lift the left knee into the chest. Straighten it out at an angle. Take it side to side here. If you need more, both legs stay long. Lower and lift. On the exhales, take that pursed lips exhale. We're here for 10. You could also be in an isometric hold, 9, so that would look like this, maybe. 8, 7, if you absolutely hate these, take bicycle crunches for 6, 5, 4, I'm going to go to smaller range of motion, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, plant the feet down, lower the back down right away, palms by the side, push into the feet, lift the hips into a bridge pose. Tuck the tailbone toward the knees here. Drop the hips down on your inhale, arms reach back overhead. Exhale, back into bridge, palms stretch down toward your sides. 3 more. So you're on the home stretch, I promise. Last 2, give the glutes a little squeeze at the top. Hold the last one. Hold it up and lift. Pulse the knees in. Little pulses in. Pulse in. In. So it's not really a bounce, unless that's feeling like what you need today, but you're going to get more muscular activation with a slow, controlled pulse than a bounce. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got one more combo move in 1. Lower the hips an inch, lift the hips an inch. Lower the hips an inch, lift the hips an inch. Oh my goodness. Imagine pressing the heels straight down like you're trying to smash your mat into the floor underneath you. 5. If you need more, I don't know exactly what to tell you. You're doing plenty here. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips down, bring the right knee into the chest. Bring the left knee into the chest and then circle your kneecaps over your sacrum. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice what's coming up for you. Switch the direction of those circles. Hook the back of the knees. And do a little yogi ninja kick. So stretch the left leg up. The knee does not need to straighten. Bring the left leg down, stretch the right leg up. And just alternate here. So very gentle lengthening through the hamstring. Try and let it feel pretty good. Letting the knee move through its range of motion without weight through the feet. So giving that knee joint a chance to reset. If you've got poppy clicking happening, go in a smaller range of motion. Drop the feet down, feet together, knees up. Bring the arms to the sides. A little distance away from the mat, or maybe into a cactus shape. And then waggle the knees side to side. Walk the feet farther away from your body. Bring the left knee over the right knee. Shimmy the hips to the left and then drop the knees to the right. Let the head nod toward the left elbow, left shoulder. Oh, the left elbow's over there too, right? The right hand might catch the crook of that top knee. Let the back of the head start to melt. Let the lips part a little bit, let the teeth part. Back to the center. Take a breath in neutral. Breath where the body's in relative symmetry. Right knee over left knee. We'll walk the hips to the right and then drop the knees to the left. Cactus or T through the right arm. Nod the chin to the right. Start to move back toward a 3-part breath again. Inhaling into the belly, the chest, shoulders. Exhaling down to the shoulders, the chest, the belly. Set up slowly into a Shavasana, somewhere where you can let go of efforting. If there's any other poses or shapes that your body's craving that it's asking you for, feel free to add those in, but make sure that you eventually settle into a place where there's nothing left for you to do for a moment. Let the body shift gears, let the nervous system, most importantly here, shift into that reparative and recovery phase. So from like a physiological point of view, physical point of view, the actual strength and physiological benefit only comes after the movement. The movement itself is creating stress and damage, and then the body has this opportunity, hopefully if we give it the opportunity to repair. The back of the head melting, shoulders spreading out underneath you. Let go of any lingering control of the breath and just observe whatever's arising here for a moment. Be in stillness for just about 30 seconds or maybe 3 slow breaths. Stay there for just a moment longer, but walk the feet and the legs together. Point the toes. Interlace your fingers, split the palms as you stretch the arms back over your head. Long body stretch here. Big breath in. When you're ready, open your mouth. Let it go. Absolutely zero rush. Meet me in a seated position. It's more connecting back to sensation in the body, finding the longest spine that you can without straining. So stack vertebra, one atop the next. Bring the fingertips down to your side. We'll take one more big breath together as you circle the arms up overhead, palms come close or maybe even touch. Exhale, let it all go. Thank you for sharing some space with me. I hope you feel a little bit more in your bodies. Take good care of yourself.